this chat overlay taken off here. Okay, so we're coming in a couple hours later than usual today, but it's been a very amazingly chilly, gray spring day here. Lots of rain, and I just wanted to stay in bed. I got up this morning and yeah, just decided I'm going to stay in bed for another hour. So it's been nice, but oftentimes when we do these things, we put ourselves on a whole different schedule. So here we are, just catching up. I'm going to. It's Sutra Saturday, by the way. Hello, everyone. It's so good to be here, getting ready to do the sutras. But first, let's get into a little bit of breathing. So we're going to go ahead and find ourselves a comfortable, balanced position for meditation, entering into our meditation posture. So if you're on a mat or pillow on the floor, a folded towel, whatever it may be, with your legs crossed, set your sits bone down properly and allow that to stack your spine straight all the way up to the top of your head. Let your hands lay palms up, either open or in Jin Mudra, with the hands up, or one hand laid over another, right in front of the belly button. Relax the head and the shoulders, the neck. Let the jaw go slack and let the tongue fall from the roof of your mouth. If you are in a chair like I am, it's very similar positioning. But you're going to have your feet flat on the floor or have your ankles just crossing over one another in a relaxed position. If you can pull yourself away from the backrest, this is a good practice. If you're lying in Shavasana, just find a comfortable position. Slightly pull the shoulders down just a touch so that when you release the tension from them, they're going to be in a natural position of relaxation. Wherever we are right now, let's pull our shoulder blades together in the back just for a second. Nice and strong. Open that chest. Chin up. Good. Stretching the neck. Release the shoulders. And let the head become level, chin level to the floor. And we'll just breathe. As we're finding our natural breathing starting to relax. Try to direct your breath in and out of the nose, allowing the mouth to close. Something seems to be going awry with my camera. So while it's much lower quality, we'll switch. Okay. Good morning, Silas. Alright, come on back. We're finding our breath. Now that we're getting settled into our natural breathing, let's do some extended exhale and retention abstention breath. So what this will look like is a 4-second inhale with 2 seconds of holding retention, 6-second exhale, 2 seconds of abstention, 4-second inhale, and the cycle just goes on. So I'll cue it in. Breathe, exhale everything, and through the nose, we'll breathe in. Good now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold and exhale. Hold, inhale. Hold, exhale. And return to natural breath. And let's go for a second round. 4-second inhale, 2 seconds of holding, 6 count of breathing out, and a 2 count of holding. And we'll repeat that 5 breath rounds. Exhale and begin. And return to natural breath. Notice how the body feels. Notice how the mind feels. What are the thoughts? Are they slowing? And the space between your thoughts becoming longer? So we'll begin Ujjayi breath, ocean breathing, where we constrict our breath through our nose slightly at the back of our throat, the base of our sinuses, just enough to where it makes a sound inside of our head that sounds similar to the waves of the ocean on the shore. So as we're restricting our breathing in this way and creating this rhythmic sound, this will help focus our whole body's awareness into calm. This is a natural effect. It takes place using the body's own elements. And I want to have us, if you can, close your eyes if you're comfortable with that, or in a place that you can. And bring the focus of your eyes inward and upward towards the third eye. You almost have to cross your eyes with your eyes closed a little bit here. But focusing on the third eye while using Ujjayi breathing, and we'll do this for about 5 minutes. And begin. In fact, I'll set us in with the bell. Going to open your eyes. Breathe deeply into the body using the diaphragm. I'll warm my hands. Okay. That's a nice morning practice. And now it's time to get into some sutras. So before we go into the sutras directly, an invocation to Patanjali.
योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचं मलं शरीरस्य च वैर्यकेन योपाकरुतं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्रञ्जलिराणतोऽस्मि आबाहुपुरुषकारं शङ्खचक्रसिधारिणं सहस्रशिरसं श्वेतं प्रणमामि पतञ्जलिम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ.
And that's the invocation to Patanjali. And the English translation of that is, let us bow before the noblest of sages, Patanjali, who gave yoga for serenity and sanctity of mind, grammar for clarity and purity of speech, and medicine for perfection of health. Let us prostrate before Patanjali, an incarnation of Adisesa, whose upper body has a human form, whose arms holds a conch and a disc, and who is crowned by a 1,000-headed cobra. So there's the Patanjali invocation. These obeisances are, these mantras, these prayers are just recognizing the lineage of the teacher. This is just saying that, you know, I'm giving thanks to the teachers who came before me. In this case, it's Patanjali. And I'm hoping to honor their teachings by understanding, seeking understanding. That's pretty much all it is. So, and what an amazing practice! What an amazing way to move through our lives if we stop and just spend that moment giving thanks for the people that have brought us the experience, the wisdom, the knowledge that we are sharing in hopes that we can honor them and honor the teachings. Because if we have a successive line of doing that, then we are we're holding on to an awareness of where we come from, where our roots are. That's an important thing. A tree with no roots is a dangerous tree, right? It's a tree that will fall. Einar Selvik from Mordruna says, you do not climb a tree with no roots. So, yeah, it's just a good practice. So, last week, we read number 39. So I'm going to try something this week. I'm going to see if I can share with you my screen. so that you too can read along with the sutras as we encounter them. Perfect. Okay. I don't know if that's working or not. There we go. So I'm going to and I feel like sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel like when I'm in heavy dreams, when I'm dreaming a lot, I sometimes feel like it is uh, a distraction almost. Like there's something that I'm not consciously processing in my waking self. And so even in my rest, I'm still functioning. My brain is still working on something. And then other times I think, well, we have the curiosity about multi dimensions, like what's happening when we're sleeping. Like, are we experiencing other worlds? I really don't know. I really don't know. And I don't know a lot about dream interpretation, but I do know that um, the dreams that I've had at times have really been able to give me perspective on where the work is that I need to do. And this isn't every dream I have, by any stretch of the imagination, but we do have those dreams occasionally that offer us kind of a peek into maybe a genetic memory, maybe a deeper plane of existence within ourselves. And so at times when we're in meditation, focusing on that focusing on that space, that awareness, that reality, um, can be a good way to get back into our deeper self, because the dream is not it's not coming from outside of us, right? It's not coming from someplace else, so it's existing within us, and that just offers another pathway in, another doorway in. I don't think we need to dwell on this one too much. I know I don't feel the need to. So we can move on. But it's just another option, another offering that Patanjali says, this is another offering that your body is giving you as a potential for meditation. So meditate on your dream. Wake up in the morning first thing, and while you still have the dream in your mind, don't speak. Don't go to your phone. Some people have a practice of journaling, and that's good too. Um, but try just sitting up in your bed, stretching your body just for a second, sitting up and going right into a state of meditation, and see what it is that you're experiencing, that divinity you're experiencing. It's an option, and it's a cool practice. I really enjoy it. Um, Patanjali goes on to say, um, sort of an option. What is it? What is it that you are attaining towards? What is it that you're looking towards? And meditate upon that. The thing that you find to be enlightening. Maybe it's meditating on Christ on the cross. Maybe it's meditating on the Buddha under the tree. Maybe it's meditating on the mother and child. The thing that brings you into an elevated state of being, not necessarily the thing that gets you high, but the thing that gives you um, an inner sense of a greater self. I don't really know any other way to put that. Um, yeah, I don't know any other way to put that. Like meditating upon that which brings you higher, gets you elevated. Um, heard before, right? We've heard this in many different ways. It's been spoken. There's now we use words like microcosm and macrocosm. And we heard sayings like as above, so below, or as within, so without. And even in a different way, we think of things like from the smallest seed comes the mighty oak, right? Um, and so what this is saying is that through concentration, we'll be able to focus in on the smallest of things. And that's what we're doing when we practice. We're smoking on one or two little things, the quality of breath, the feeling of the air as it's on the nostril. We can sit and meditate on that feeling alone, hours and hours you could sit. Focusing on those little things gives us enough concentration, enough practice of focus and attention that we can then also pull back and see the larger. It's almost like a fractals, like when you're looking at one, and as you pull out, you begin to see the repeating form, and then you see the greater form. Or when you zoom in on a picture, there's some pictures on the internet that are pretty amazing. You can find the million pixel pictures, right? And you can see the zoomed out. You can zoom all the way in as far as close as the pixel will go, and you can see the image on somebody's t-shirt, right? As they're standing on a balcony of a building. And then as you zoom out, you can see them, you can see the building, you can see the street the building's on, the cars, the traffic, you can see the block, you can see the city, you can see the state. Like you can zoom all the way out, in and out, and it's a really amazing illustration of sort of how we can sometimes have a difficult time seeing a big picture if we can't focus and see the small picture, right? We can't see the thing that's right in front of us. And then vice versa, if all we're looking at is this zoomed out view of the world, then it's hard to recognize the smallest nuances. So these practices that we're doing, Patanjali is saying, will take us into a level of awareness that we don't currently have. And it's not necessarily showing us anything that's not there. It's allowing us to broaden our scope of awareness. And once you begin to be able to do that, I personally feel like some of the pressure is removed from feeling beholden or trapped to one perspective or one view of the world. As I can sit in these practices and learn to exercise the muscles of my focus and attention, I'm more able to pull back a little bit when I'm feeling really overwhelmed by believing one particular thought or one particular way of understanding the world in front of me. And I can go, that's a thought. That's a belief. That's what that is. Okay. And I don't have to be beholden to it, and I don't have to perform a role or put on a uniform of any sort to match maybe the way that I saw the world before. Now I'm more free, more liberated to interact with whatever this is in any way that I feel in that moment. And that's just as good in political action as it is in a romantic relationship or an intimate relationship of any sort, parent to child, child to parent, siblings, your best friend, whatever it is, that ability to understand that I do not have to behave or react in the way I did before, because I was behaving or reacting in that way when my view of my life and my world was much smaller and much less clear, right? And as I gain more clarity and the ability to see a larger picture, that opens my possibilities for how I choose to engage. And that's a pretty powerful thing. So that's what Patanjali's been saying through this, is from the littlest things that we can learn to focus on. From there, we can move forward in awareness and in a way that allows us to understand the shape of the universe, the entire universe. And if understand isn't a word that's landing with you, it allows us to experience everything, from how the tiniest of things is a part of the wholeness of the universe. You know? I think that's going to do it for today, for the Gita. That's wrapping up a particular well, maybe we'll no, the next bit of these sutras get into samadhi, and that's a subject um, that's going to be wrapping up book one eventually, as we get through samadhi and we start understanding um, what how meditation and contemplation are a part of our being, our existence. And that's what the entire book one of the Patanjali's Yoga Sutras is about. So next week we might even finish book one by moving through the aspects of where we really start understanding what the word samadhi means, and as contemplation or as focus meditation, and how that practice of samadhi can be attained through these practices, these mental modifications, these breath modifications, and that's one of the goals of being a yogi, is to attain samadhi, is to be able to go into your practice. And contemplation is interesting because it's a little different than just thinking. It's a focused attention upon thought that does not require belief. It actually requires the opposite of belief. It requires curiosity. And it requires of us to be able to openly question and be open to what we find in any time. And that can be a difficult thing when you've lived in a culture that has taught you that you have to stand up for what you believe. Everything's about what you believe, what you believe. And we see it so often, how it plays out in such, how our belief in something can close us off to even the possibility of connecting. And that disconnection, that's the root of a lot of our pain, a lot of our suffering. So, and it's okay to have faith, but recognizing that you at any time have faith, even if don't consider yourself a faith-based person. You have faith in science, you have faith in something. There's something that you're exerting faith in. You have faith that when I take in this next breath, I'm going to receive the nourishment that I need, and I continue breathing. And I have faith that this is, a certain mix of gases and elements that are creating the air to be beneficial to my particular body type. And there's levels of faith there. And I think the sooner we can become okay with understanding that faith and belief don't necessarily have to be the same thing, because faith behaves in a way that says, I'm going to trust as I move forward that this is what I need. And faith can become informed when something changes, right? If I step into a room and there's a strong smell of gas in the air, my faith that I can breathe in the air wherever I am is going to change. I'm going to understand I need to make a shift. But belief is something different. Belief requires us to inform our biases. And even in the face of that which is, we will believe in what is not. And all of us do this. And so I feel like a lot of these practices that Patanjali is guiding us into is different ways that we can begin to unburden ourselves from the need or the desire to believe in something, and just have faith that what we're experiencing is only as real as it needs to be. I don't know, y'all. To be honest, it's a beautiful rainy morning to sit down with a hot pot of tea, make a nice little breakfast, and just listen to the rain and read a book. So my brain isn't really here completely. My mind is not in this space. So I'm gonna hang it up for today. We'll see you all on Monday. Thanks so much for joining us here on Journey Home. The music we listened to today was Loka Samastaha Sukino Bhavantu, a track by the ever amazing Jane Vinther, and that's JaneWinther. So look for Jane's social media presences, and she's on all the streaming platforms. She creates amazing playlists that you can check out on Spotify and YouTube that can bring you really through your day in really beautiful ways. So I'm really grateful to her for expressly allowing us to play her music together in our meditations. I think that's going to do it for me. I'll see you all on Monday morning, 7:30 a.m. Hari Om Tat Sat.